Ooh. You don't need to be that loud. How about no, I'm just gonna turn you off. You're not gonna be that fucking loud for no reason. This is not gonna happen. No. I refuse. I refuse to let you do that. Like, no, dude. Fuck out of here. Apparently it's not going away. It's just going to be loud. Hey people, what's going on? Hello, Isa, what's going on, man? How you doing?
Welcome.
Sorry, it's so loud. I mean, oh, there you go. That's better. RuneScape. It's supposed to be spooky. Spooky things happening. Okay. Pretty spooky so far. Doors locked. Another door that is locked. There's a person in here. No. You left me a note. What does it say? I take a copy of the note. Not the note, just a copy of it. Okay, and what does the note say? The note says, isn't murder just a work of art? Beautiful, yet haunting, like a blade of a knife, as we wander through the valley of death. Okay. Oh, it's Fred. What's up, man? Welcome back.
Welcome.
Playing RuneScape. Okay. Seems I can go no further. Oh, I can go up the staircase. Nice. The stairs don't look safe. Never mind, I can't. Go to sleep, dude. I'm just jumping on here just for a second, just to mess around. I'm not even going to be up much more than an hour. Usually I'm not up streaming at this time. Usually I'm doing other stuff. Sleeping. Go to bed. Later, Fred. If anyone else is here, can they please help me with this?
Welcome.
Please. I'll look it up myself. I was thinking the note's like a clue, right? It says, "Isn't murder just a work of art?" Okay, wait. Like a blade. Okay, wait. Isn't there art here? Hold on. Use knife on the painting. Yes! Hitting apartment. Key. Perfect, dude. Perfect. See, now I found a key. Thank you. Doesn't fit. Ah. Pardon me. Here, I thought I was onto something. Okay, so that's locked. There's more. Wait, there's more art. The fuse is too damp to light. What the fuck does that even mean? It's killing everybody. Piano. It's like spelling out your fate. What? No, that's not it. Spelling out your fate. The glorious sound spelling out your fate. It's a four-letter word. What? It's like music to my ears, the glorious sound spelling out your fate. The clue spelling out your fate. Bro. Oh, that's so. Found a key within the piano's compartment. Key doesn't fit. Okay. Going back over here. Jump in this wall. No, man. This bitch. She's like, oh, I don't think there's any need for me to take this big, shiny weapon with me in order to defend myself. Nothing bad ever happens when people go and check out noises in the dark outside of houses. No. And my dude's like, you have got to be kidding me. Here I go. Zach, I'm playing RuneScape for the first time in my life. That's what I'm doing. Welcome.
Welcome.
Appreciate you coming in. Here's some. Who the I don't know what that means, Arthur. How are you, though? Welcome, man.
Welcome.
That's your welcome. That's what you get. Car crash. And some of this. And some of
A
this.
few moments later.
And we're about to. Sabaria Hari Ini. Mm-hmm. Sure. Sure. The westernmost door. Here we go. People think you're some big hero, but you're not. All your adventures are the same. Nothing but opportunists. And I say, what are you going to do about it? Say Indonesia. Why?
Welcome.
Why?
What?
Oh my god, bro.
Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man? Get your ass on, boy. Bye. You get your goddamn ugly ass on.
He said, well, I did have this big speech planned out, but quite frankly, I don't think you're worth the effort to take to deliver it. So, this is the end of the line for you. It's time for you to see the final act, the showdown, the finale. Let's see what you're up to the challenge, if you are up to the challenge. Okay. Dude, are you fucking kidding me? You gotta be joking me. That's not where I clicked at all. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Got him. That's one. Sure. With all those words. Just subscribe. Like and subscribe.
Welcome.
Oh my God.
Oh my god, they're both there. Yeah, they're getting into a fight. Fucking stabbed her. Time to go. There's no Huey's dead because of you. Oh wait, go back. She's right there. Let's see. I have completed the Miss Helen mystery. Miss Helen mystery. One quest point, 600 crafting XP, an uncut ruby, and uncut emerald. And uncut sapphire as well. Total quest point 6. That's fantastic. And my crafting goes to level 8. It's fantastic. Love to see that. Alright, that's a cool quest. We no longer need these notes. Bro, he's at level 10. I forgot about that. Don't know what any of that means, buddy. Pizza, pizza. Time for pizza. Y'all don't care. It's alright. I don't care that you guys don't care. This went through a really bad breakup, dude, and I'm sitting in what was my office, which is now my bedroom. And, yeah, just rough. And I think that things suck right now. Things could be better. Yo. So they don't sell for much more than what's going on. From what I was seeing here. Let me go down here. Talk to the shopkeep. Talk to the shopkeep. Where is this man? There he is. Oh. I'm pretty sure Adventurer John's got some. Wait, go back. Getting started with range, you receive 1 leather cowl, 75 bronze arrows, and as I remember, I receive 1 leather chap. And I've completed my getting started with fishing. You receive 1 fishing rod and 100 fishing bait. Do I have to? Let's go down here for a sec. Cross the bridge.
clear if he was a graduate of Mr. Diaz's flight school, but what we do know is that he earned his private pilot certificate in June of 2020, and then in September he failed his instrument check ride before passing a few weeks later. According to the NTSB, he failed the check ride because he didn't properly tune and identify the ILS frequency, and he misidentified the approach minimums, resulting in him leveling off too early and being high on the approach. About a year later, in July of 2021, he failed a check ride to get his commercial certificate because of his pre-flight, his systems knowledge, and his emergency procedures, but he would go on to pass that check ride 2 days later. Now, it's not clear what he ended up doing for the next year and a half, but eventually in March of 2023, he was hired by Mr. Diaz at Skyjet Elite to serve as a first officer on the Astra 1125, which is the business jet that he was flying when they crashed. What's notable about this is that during his training on the Astra, he progressed fairly well, but it was his first time in a jet aircraft, so he struggled a little bit getting used to the automation. However, his confidence seemed to improve throughout the program. There's two reasons why I'm bringing this up. First of all, his instructor said that he was a very good student and he improved very quickly. And to me, that proves that just because you failed a check ride or two in your past, that doesn't mean you're a bad pilot. And I think that Gagan was on the right track. However, the second thing I want to point out is that he was still very young, because remember, he was only 24 years old, and even though he had just over 1,000 hours of total time, he only had about 135 hours of experience in the Astra business jet when they crashed. And that meant he probably trusted Mr. Diaz, and he also trusted the captain sitting next to him during the flight. Claudio was 63 years old, and he was sitting in the left seat and flying the plane at the time of the crash. According to the investigation, he had over 13,700 hours of total flight time, but because he gained most of that experience when he was flying in Venezuela, there wasn't any way to verify whether those numbers were accurate. What we do know is that he allegedly flew Learjets for a brief period in South America, but most of his experience seemed to involve flying large tailwheel airplanes like the DC-3 before he moved to the US in 2014, and that's when he had his Venezuelan pilot certificates converted to FAA certificates. It's not clear what Claudio did as a pilot for the first few years that he was in the US, but eventually around 2018 or 2019, he was hired by a company called Aztec Airways, where he primarily flew Beech 18 aircraft. If you're not familiar, this is a twin-engine tailwheel aircraft, and it seemed to be a good fit for him based on his prior experience flying the DC-3. And the truth is that the CEO of Aztec Airways never reported any problems or flight performance issues with Claudio. Either way, in May of 2022, while he was still working for Aztec, Claudio was hired by a company called AeroCare Medical Transport Systems to serve as a captain on a Learjet. The NTSB didn't provide very many details about his training or his flight time in the Learjet, but what's interesting is that while he was working there, he was also hired by Mr. Diaz to come work for Skyjet Elite in November of 2022 to fly a Piper PA-31 Navajo. This is a small twin-engine piston aircraft that was primarily going to be used by the company to fly cargo and maybe a few charter flights from time to time. But the reason this matters is because at this point, Claudio was working for 3 different companies, flying 3 very different kinds of aircraft, and this is where the story starts to get interesting. You see, first of all, a few months after Mr. Diaz hired him, in January of 2023, Claudio was dismissed from his job at AeroCare Medical as a Learjet captain because that company was downsizing. 1 month later, Mr. Diaz decided to promote Claudio to the position of chief pilot at Skyjet, the company where he was supposed to be flying the PA-31s. And just to be clear, a chief pilot is someone who's responsible for the overall flight operations, and they serve as a bridge between the company executives and the other pilots. Now, it's not clear how many other pilots work for Skyjet, but I got the sense that it wasn't very many. Either way, what you need to know is that according to a man named Dan, who was the former director of operations for Skyjet, Claudio was a chief pilot in name only. That meant he was basically a placeholder because the company needed someone designated as chief pilot to make the FAA inspector happy. And on paper, Claudio met the qualifications. However, it was later revealed that Claudio had little to no involvement in the daily operations of the company. To make matters worse, even though Claudio had been hired by Skyjet in November of 2022 to fly the PA-31, because the aircraft was always broken, he wasn't able to take a check ride in order to legally fly it. That meant he was serving as a chief pilot without actually doing the flying that he was hired to do. Now, in full transparency, it's not clear if Claudio was actually getting paid to not fly during this time, but he probably had some free time on his hands. So in May of 2023, he went and got another job flying part-time for a private charter company called Riva, which was an air ambulance company, and that's where things started to fall apart. That's because he was originally hired to be a captain flying a Learjet for Riva, but he struggled tremendously during training. The details weren't provided as part of the investigation, but apparently he performed so poorly that the company decided to downgrade his role and hire him as a first officer instead of as a captain. According to the investigation, during his initial operating experience at Riva, after 5 trips, the company determined that he wasn't able to meet Part 135 private charter standards. In fact, 3 different captains that flew with Claudio all said that he demonstrated a lack of adherence to standard operating procedures, he had poor crew resource management, poor checklist usage, required constant reminders, couldn't manage the FMS, and he had poor aircraft control. One of the captains at Riva even said there was no way Claudio actually had 13,000 flight hours, and he couldn't believe that he had passed training and was sent to the line. So basically, it wasn't a big surprise that Claudio only lasted about 4 months with the company before they fired him in September of 2023 due to his poor performance. Keep in mind that at this point, Claudio still had 2 jobs, because remember, he was still flying the Beech 18s for Aztec Airways, and he was the chief pilot for Skyjet, where he was supposed to be flying the PA-31. However, by the end of 2023, after 13 months of working for Skyjet, Claudio never did a check ride in the PA-31. That's when Mr. Diaz decided to make a change, and it was something that he was explicitly warned not to do. Before we continue, I want to take a second to talk about something that people don't realize is happening online. There are companies called data brokers whose entire business is collecting your personal information. Things like you're making it abundantly clear that Claudio should never be allowed to sit in a turbine seat, meaning he shouldn't be flying anything with a turbine engine. He said Claudio was hired to fly the PA-31 in cargo, and that was it. Despite that warning, 1 month after Dan left the company, Mr. Diaz made the decision to send Claudio to training to get checked out as a captain on the Astra business jet, the same jet he would end up crashing just a few months later. If you've never heard of this kind of aircraft before, the full name is the Israel Aircraft Industries 1125 Westwind Astra, and it's a twin-engine business jet that requires 2 pilots.
Why is my chat not updating?
9 passengers. And the thing is, even though it has good performance numbers and it's relatively stable at cruising altitude, it has all.
You asked me what was wrong with me?
You need to know
What do you mean?
doing in order to stay ahead of the aircraft, and there's not a lot of
What's wrong with
margin
you?
for error. Just to be clear, though, one of the reasons why Mr. Diaz wanted Claudio to fly this plane was allegedly because he was desperate and he didn't really have any other options.
You are
based on
white.
pilots that
Hey
he
yo,
performed at that
fans, why do you
time.
say rude
Plus,
things?
Claudio
Said
was his
hi,
chief
said hi.
pilot, so
What's
it made
wrong
sense
with
for
you?
him to get checked out on the aircraft.
Said rude things, apparently. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't even know who you are. For some reason my YouTube chat's not updating. Last thing I had from you was say Indonesia. What's wrong with you? Is this chat working? Does work. Bedtime. Almost. Oh my god. Catch some shrimp. Please. You deliberately burned nicely cooked meat. Nice. Really nice that I can do that. It's getting around that time. A freshly made dirty blast and a rotten tomato. Glass of Bremen's ale. It's about that time, folks. Thank you for watching me play RuneScape. That's it. Go away. Get the fuck out of here. Bye. Bye.